Welcome. It's the Pastimes. It's a podcast. That's right. We're doing it. Shut up, everybody. Listen, shut up. You know the deal here. Each week we're going through a newspaper and a nays paper from a random date in history picked out by none other than Dave Anthony. I, Gareth Reynolds, have never seen it, and neither has this week's guest. Our guest just canceled on us last minute. Had an emergency.
What?
Yeah.
Is that why there's no one here with us?
So
what about Jose?
He's booked. He does his own podcast. It's called The Pawcast. But we were here and we were like, should we just fucking do this alone?
Well, since we're going to do this, I'm going to be Bat Anthony.
No, that's a callback. That's a callback. But during this time we would do banter. So what do you have to promote, Dave? This is the promotional part.
2 days ago, I was at Hot Tub in Los Angeles.
Was that the final one?
No, they're doing one more.
Okay.
But the 20-year run, 20 years of doing that show. Is
not even a hint of an invite in this direction, but that's okay. Keep going.
Well, they wanted good people.
I always run into that.
And people they enjoy being around.
I know.
And they also had a vegan taco place at the bottom of the little hill they have there. And I ate it. And let's just say I've been paying for 2 days.
Oh, wow. Boy, that'll get you. That'll get you.
My body can't handle all that vegan at once.
What was it? Vegan meat?
It's vegan everything. Yeah, vegan meat. Yeah, vegan cheese. All vegan out of my ass.
Yeah. Okay. But wait, what were you going to say about it?
Fun show. I haven't done stand-up in so fucking long.
How long's it been?
I think I haven't done it since the pandemic hit. I can't remember doing it since the pandemic started. Yeah, I don't think I did. I don't think I did any in Australia. Because I usually do some in Australia. I don't think I did any in Australia. So I think I did none since then. And so
how much were you prepping? By the way, I think we're going to have a guest joining. No prep.
I did not prep at all. I just had ideas. Like I had five ideas jotted down. And I went up and babbled about them, and it went well. Like thankfully a CEO was shot that day. Shot the night before, so I had a lot of
your set list is just talk about words with strike throughs. Yeah, you know what? I actually think I got it.
And I got to say, the audience is really on board with the CEOs getting killed. So
it's very strange that we talk about this a lot. Why don't the Democrats run on these super popular issues? We have found a 90% winner, and it is a murder. I mean, that is a shocking number.
Yeah, it just shows how low the bar is for them to actually do something that people want.
This guy is like, he's like the John Elway of a set. Like, he's never going to pay for a meal again. And by the way, they haven't found him yet. It's just, this is like a movie.
Yeah, it is.
The guy does this and everyone's like, that was awesome when that guy got murdered.
And it sounds like they'll catch him based on what I was reading today.
Yeah.
And man, I can tell you they don't know what's coming if they catch that guy. That guy's GoFundMe will be $50 million. Like guy.
There is, I can't remember what I was reading, but it was like the rationale, like you're not going to find a more sympathetic figure. When people found out he wrote on the bullets, everyone was like, God damn, this guy's.
But I, who obviously hate healthcare companies and am up to date on stuff, I didn't know that what he wrote on the bullets is a common phrase used in healthcure forums of people who talk shit about healthcare.
He was just like, look, you're going to have days with me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving a lot of leave behind, and you're going to enjoy this. But anyway, we're not here to talk about how great that. By the way, we've been talking about this for a long time, so join our Patreon if you haven't. We're here to talk about a newspaper, Dave. We're going to go on tour, so go to dolloppodcast.com for tour and information. We're going all over the Pacific Southwest.
No, not the Pacific Southwest.
Sure.
No, we're not the Pacific Southwest.
The Atlantic Southwest. So
it's not. It's the Gulf of Mexico, south-ish.
Stop.
It's stuff above Mexico. How's that?
We're above Mexico.
We are, but it's Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
Stop.
And
I'm
Oklahoma.
not. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna have a surprise. Do you know who the surprise guest is?
I do. I just saw.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we just start? He'll have no problem jumping in.
He will not at all. He's
if
barely
I
going to
know
pay attention
him
while
right
here.
now, his arm's on fire and he's trying to plug a microphone into his computer.
And I did buy that hat that I said I sent to you guys last night for Luke to wear on the next tour.
Well, tease.
Do you want to know what the hat is?
No, leave it.
Okay.
He's
a mayor. He's a mayor of something.
A great tease.
Okay, the paper. Gareth, do you want to guess?
Yeah, the year. I'll guess that it's 1911.
Oh, it's 1854. Man, you are ridiculous.
I've been off lately, but for a while I did great, and you still had the same laugh, so it's really low stakes for me.
It is the Portsmouth Daily Chronicle from Portsmouth, New Hampshire on January 26, 1854. So just a couple days before the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl is usually, back then it was at the end of January. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the teams were great. The most offensive team names ever were in the Super Bowl.
Imposition, a scamp calling himself E.S. Peak. I just got that. Speak, who has been occasionally loafing about Manchester, went to Derry a few days ago, put up at the Hotel of E. Kenny, engaged a hall, and gave notice that a grand concert would be given on a certain evening by the Harmonians.
Explain to me what's happening.
A guy who apparently loafs about Manchester rented out a hall, and he is putting on a show by the Harmonians, who are clearly
group
harmonica.
No,
they're singers. What am I saying?
They're harmonious. Yeah, you can't. You cannot have more than one harmonica player playing.
Well, there goes the band idea.
That's part of the rule. Yeah, you harmonic can't do that, in my opinion.
That's weird because the band name that I have is the Harmonicans.
Oh, Christ! Those were Native Americans, weren't they? We hear them coming.
So he said the Harmonians.
They're just playing blues music for each other. Just the saddest, like they took our land, lied to us. Go ahead.
So. Consisting of John Power, James Power, F.A. Reynolds, H. Savory, and E.S. Peak. So people assembled, and they said Peak tended the door, and just before the time for commencing arrived, he, with the money, was missing.
So as E.S. Peak took off with the money he pulled the old...
Yeah, he represented to the landlord that a large company would attend from Nashua, for which preparations were made at the hotel. We understand that he's played this game elsewhere. This is a great fucking...
What is his con exactly?
His con is, I'm putting on a show.
Oh.
Everybody buys tickets. Yes, they get inside, and then he leaves. It's awesome. It's a great idea.
But there's now contracts... But they probably were very light, like they paid you up front.
Yeah. It sounds like the hotel put him up. Like he just rolled up and was like, "Hey man, I have an idea."
We got a guest.
We are joined by Luke Simmons, who foolishly put a green screen behind him. So he's going to be, we invite all of our fans to cut Luke out here and do whatever you want with that background.
Yep. Please enjoy the green screen.
I'm here to serve. I heard there was a online jack sesh happening.
No, you heard wrong.
That's right. You're listening to Online Jack Sesh with Dave and Gareth.
Luke, we were going to have a guest. We were going to have you on soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then our guest dropped out, and we thought, well, let's float it out there. So now you're a guest. So let's catch you up.
Who is doing nothing?
Let's catch you up. Dave ate vegan tacos a couple nights ago. Did he or did he not get diarrhea?
He did. Of course he did.
This paper is from what year is your guess?
My guess would be the same year those vegan tacos were made and sealed, 1980.
Wow.
He's much closer
What?
because he has an.
Have
8
you listened to
in
this show? 1980 is.
He has an 8 in the number. Did you have an 8
Not
in
closer.
your guess?
No, it's from
So he had an 8.
1854.
That was going to be my second
guess.
guess.
He had a 1 and an 8, so he's way ahead
Luke,
of you.
did you hear about the CEO of United
I did.
Healthcare? Yeah. Thoughts?
Are you morning?
I am. It's morning in America. I think the whole,
We just don't know how we're spelling it. Okay, so this first story is basically a guy said he was going to put on a show. The hotel gave him free room, probably free food. He got money, and then he skipped town with all the money, and there's no show.
All the people went in, bought tickets, and went inside,
so he
and
sold
they're
tickets.
waiting for the show, and then he just left.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's pretty good.
you know where they're all looking. You just kind of creep out the back door.
Oh, how fucking great is it to think of the odd, like you do lights down, like, all right. Everyone's like, ooh, it's about to quiet. Go to the bathroom now before it starts. Someone just sitting there eating popcorn.
How easy was it to make money back then?
It was the best.
I love the idea of an usher just being sent out eventually to be like, hey, folks, I got some news.
Interesting thing.
Quick update.
Yeah.
The show is going to be me apologizing.
Sorry. And there's still like a couple musicians like, the show's going to be me. No, don't.
No, not helpful.
Bottom.
Luke,
Yes.
do you find the name that Gareth uses on this recording to be offensive?
I mean,
Well,
Dave?
why don't you say what it is, first of all?
It's Dave's dad.
Dave's dad, and he's got the title of man. So, it depends on if it's a direct reference to your dad.
Yeah, who he killed.
Oh, I didn't even think
It
of
might be. There are other
Callously.
Daves. I know.
that's just
name
the
is
general
Dave.
Dave's dads. Yeah.
So you're just randomly saying Dave's dad. So it should be Dave's dad's.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Grammar
because it
issue.
seems very pointed.
Here's an interesting little piece of trivia. My uncle Dave, his dad, my grandfather, was
That's
also
what I'm
named
talking about.
Dave.
Yeah.
So that's several Daves, several generations. You get in kind of like a infinite recursal Dave situation.
Double
Recursal.
Dave.
Yep.
Don't ever say recursal on this podcast.
Recursal.
Fractal
We don't.
Daves.
Yes.
Fractal.
Okay.
All right. So
We miss him.
this
That's all I'm
this
saying.
paper's in New Hampshire. It's from 1854.
Oh, no, pass.
Catch you up to date. Yeah.
You can't pass now.
Life and health.
Oh, I can't wait for this stuff. Eat through your bottom. Poop through your mouth.
The Salem Gazette says that in
The
Massachusetts,
Salem, burn her. Burn her.
there's a whole burner section.
Burn her. How to know whether or not you should burn your witch.
The annual registration report of deaths and marriages states that Essex and Berkshire counties have been slightly the healthiest in regard to consumption. The same document
TB.
says.
TB.
The same
They're doing
document
good.
says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing real good with TB.
The same document says it will be perceived that, comparatively, as a class, paupers have lived to the greatest age. Then follow in succession agriculturists, public men, professional men, merchants, mechanics, laborers, and
Fucking
seamen. So they're saying
The richer you are, the longer you live.
no, paupers are people who don't have money.
Yeah, but aren't they saying that you live longer the more you go
No,
up? That's
they're
the
saying paupers
opposite.
have lived to the greatest age. So they're
Oh, so
saying
poor lived longest.
It's interesting.
people who don't work. That's
I
what
wonder if
People that
that's
don't work.
or people who are like, why don't they get inside and drink some cool, clean water out of our lead pipes?
Yeah, right.
right.
Yeah. Why don't they stick around in a room and cook their supper in steel and iron? Close those windows, gang.
Why, he hasn't had a chance to see a doctor and be prescribed pure natural cocaine.
I mean, they're just sitting inside coughing, and they're like, wow, why are we all getting so sick?
We hope no one will infer from these facts that pauperism is more favorable to longevity than any other condition. I just did that.
Dave.
They're right. Not working is what we should all be doing.
Shut up,
right
boy.
into the trap.
For we suppose they only prove that very poor people, when they happen to be very old, are commonly and very properly maintained by the town or city, and so when they die are registered as paupers. Bullshit.
Interesting.
Even if it's not bullshit, it's like, all right, great. That's a great system.
Yeah, but
Sit on
also
the
like I
street
don't
and get fed?
think they, but I don't think they did take care of them. I mean,
No.
sometimes they did, but no.
Well, it's probably hard
I
for
don't.
people to picture a time when we didn't take care of people like that. Luke, I don't know if you've listened to this show. One thing I like to do is highlight the way that things are still awful.
Oh, I see what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of flipped it around a little bit.
By the way, if you think the way Dave texts about you on our group text is bad, you should be on the one with Burns. It is full-blown illegal what happens on that thread.
Mm-hmm.
That's Burns'
Burn
secret
takes-
kink, though.
Burn takes shots like nobody has. Like
Burns
he
is just getting beaten like a rug in the group text.
He likes it. I think part of him must like it.
The amount of times where all caps in the group thread Burns goes, "What is wrong with you two?" Like, because he's like asking about if we could record or something.
Yeah, something very simple gets
Something
turned into
very
just-
simple. He's like, "Can we move it a half hour tomorrow?" It's like, we should kill you. And he's like, "What? I'm just asking you a scheduling question."
It's the opposite of a praise kink. He likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Dachshund is his favorite dog because he likes crawling with his belly to the earth, keeping it low, being kind of like, what's
Is
happening?
that true?
He loves
I don't know.
dachshunds. Do you
He
know
does?
dachshunds?
I know
You're
that he likes
familiar?
dachshunds, but then he lost me.
Those are
think
not
it's-
good dogs.
Whoa.
Take it up with Burns.
Wow.
They're little dickheads. Like they're not.
Stop it.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
They're not great
Uh-oh.
dogs.
Stop
They
it.
have a lot of fucking issues. But now it makes
Stop.
sense that Burns would like that. It's not so much the fact that it drags its tummy on the ground; it's that they're emotionally weird.
Wow. Jesus.
By the Niagara, there is a report that another duel between Mr. Soule and Lord Howden
I know who I'm rooting for.
was only deferred on account by the death of one of the members of the latter's family.
Oh, wow.
So they had to
Can't
put
duel
off the-
because someone died.
yeah, you
A
gotta-
duel
In,
delay.
in a duel?
A duel.
At a funeral before pre-duel,
Oh.
a person perished, so they're like, "Well, I guess we gotta delay the."
But the truth is, like, what I've learned from the podcast is that, you know, dueling to me was like, even in movies, the way they set up dueling, like one guy died. It was like
Yeah.
actually two guys missed, and then people were like, let's get pie.
That's right. That's how it works.
So
I'm actually surprised you've learned anything from this podcast.
I've learned a number of things, but that's probably I think as you've learned, I've not learned a lot, and then I've learned some stuff. And what people like to fixate on is what I've missed.
How far off do you think we are from dueling coming back?
Oh, fuck.
Not
We got a
far.
lot closer this week.
Yeah, not far. There has been some growling in the papers against President Pierce for appointing this Monsieur Soleil, our minister to Spain.
Mr. Sun.
But we always thought it a very fit appointment. If it is our manifest destiny to be a filibustering people and get all Mexico and Cuba and other countries whose names have not yet transpired, as it seems to be, and to do it all by all sorts of means, especially by picking all sorts of quarrels, then Mr. Soleil and his hopeful son are precisely the men to
Mr.
send abroad.
Sun's son? It's crazy.
And will represent us as better than anybody else. Only they may be a trifle too fast. I can't tell if this is pro manifest destiny or
That's what's so great sometimes about these articles where you're just like, what?
What are we saying?
What do you well, there's a lot of passion. What?
It sounds like Mr. Soleil and Mr. Soleil Jr. both like to fight. And they're like, if we're looking for somebody to fight, they're going to fight.
Yeah. You
It's
go to
sorta-
the Mr. Sun, the Sun Boys.
The Sun Boys. And the author seems not to want to take a side so that it doesn't get fought by either the pro fighters or the anti fighters.
So you're saying he's doing dual neutrality just
He's just trying to stay out of it because
By
he
the way,
doesn't
if
want to
I
get
was back
swung
then,
on.
here, let's do here's a challenge me to a duel. It's 1854. Challenge me to a duel.
Sir, you have offended my honor, and I challenge ye to a fight to the death.
No, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have done that. See you later.
What?
Yeah, that's it. I'm out. I leave. That's it. I would just be like, nah, it's crazy. Come on.
Did you hear? He double insulted him by refusing his duel.
Yeah, just be like, nah, it's crazy.
That's something that people don't pick up on, is that all duels happen because someone wouldn't apologize.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, in the amount of times in like my relationship where I've been like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like, that's a pretty good card to play.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, all right, my bad. Let's watch a movie.
And you've been challenged to several duels as well.
I have. I'm not taking.
I demand satisfaction.
Yeah.
That's how this podcast ends.
We've said it for a while, and without question, it really should. Everything's going to shit, and Dave and I, for Patreon, are like, one of us dies.
Or just get shot in the gut.
If we get 13,000 subs, we'll duel.
I think you could do it with Roman candles.
Oh.
We used to, I mean, I've done that. Paintballs. I've done a paintball duel, and I lost.
Yeah, paintball duel.
It was awful.
See,
the problem with a paintball duel is when you start losing, you're going to lose real bad.
I bet.
Because the person keeps shooting you after shooting
and
once.
you can't be
no,
like...
that's not how a duel works. You shoot once.
You just get one shot. I will say this. I don't know how he'll feel about me volunteering him, but I bet Burns and I would duel on film if you guys got to a Patreon level and wanted us to duel.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
When I was like 12, we used to do Roman candle duels all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
One time I had come home from college for a break, and I had been to Amsterdam that semester. And so I brought home this huge bottle of absinthe, and we were all drinking it in my friend's grandmother's house, who had just passed away, and he was in charge of like taking care of it for his family. And he was not drinking because he had flipped his car with a DUI earlier in the summer.
This story's called Tangential Details.
Regardless, we were messing up his grandma's house. Todd was like, I really don't want any of this happening. I don't know why you guys chose here to do this. And I said, Todd, listen, you just got a new paintball gun. How about this? I will let you shoot me 1 to 5 times, depending on how many shots you can hit, as I run shirtless across the backyard if you let us keep drinking this bottle of absinthe. And Todd was like, 100%
You've always been Luke.
Yeah.
What I didn't know, it was like a submachine gun paintball. And so as soon as I stepped out into the yard, I was like, I'm like, and I went down, and then he just was passing it around. And from the deck, they were like an execution squad. It was horrible. I woke up. It looked like I had been stung by 100 giant wasps. Anyway,
here's
this ain't my first paintball duel, Burns. Watch out.
I've heard this story 3 different times, and I still go, I don't get it.
I don't either.
It's just
Have you tried absinthe, though? It's great.
For fuck's sake. All right. Come on, Dave. Let's lock it up.
Wow. Okay. The New Bedford Mercury says the account of the attempt to arrest the fugitive slaves in that city by the Portsmouth Globe is a mess of stupid statements.
Wow. Wow.
So
we're okay.
So we're shitting on the Portsmouth Globe. Is what
Yes.
we're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so someone tried to arrest a fugitive slaves. It says there was no excitement in the city, and not 10 persons knew anything about the matter at all.
It's just so funny when you're like, empathy is like, that's humiliating.
Yeah. The Globe alleged that the bells were rung to alarm the people, and that the occasion furnished texts in the pulpits.
The idea that you have a fucking Amber Alert for people
that's
just trying to be free.
It's it's an Amber Alert. Yeah.
Just the bell. Oh no.
They're running.
Oh boy. They just take out Roman candles. Get them, boys.
I really
the slave
wonder.
hunters were doubtless fearful of dangers that did not exist. The bells were so the slave hunters thought they were ringing the bells to get the people out after the slave hunters. I think that's what they're saying.
Oh, interesting.
The bells were probably rung for some lecture or other common purpose, and the text might be accidentally taken or might relate to Gardner Dean's abduction. So now I don't know what's happening. Like this is now it's just.
So with more information, it sounds like these proto law officers heard a sound and panicked and thought that they were under threat when they were in fact actively pursuing minorities.
Yeah.
What a different time.
And then, like a Luke story, they just threw in Gardner Dean's abduction.
Well, there's probably some guy with the bell guy, and he's like, how many rings for slaves? Like, you idiot, you just did the gardeners missing. Oh, shit. Everyone's going to be super confused.
So they made an extravagant story, but the Mercury, though a pretty smart paper, does not know that all goes in on new. Oh, the mailman's here.
Is there a fugitive gardener in your?
Yeah, what do you got, Gardner Dean in your house?
There's a fugitive mailman. Does not know that all goes in on New Bedford. Its statement quoted above confirms the truth of the story that there was such a hunt and that it failed of its object. So they rang the bells and the slave owners probably did a little fucking wilding on just normal people because they thought they were going to be attacked. I mean, that's what this sounds like, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's
good. What a cool system.
Cool time.
Cool time.
No notes. That's what I love about America. You said it and you forget it. You don't have to change a thing from the start.
Yeah. No, I've always loved when like Mitch McConnell's been like, well, of course I'm not going to apologize for slavery. I wasn't alive for it. You're like, oh my God. How hard is it to just be like, yeah, that was so fucked up. People are like, yeah, I'm not going to do that bullshit.
An important order with reference to the public health has been offered in the New York Common Council, directing that a committee be appointed to investigate the cow stables and milk manufactories situated in the upper part of that city.
More than we're doing for bird flu.
With a number of cows which die weekly through intoxications and other ills and diseases pertaining to their management. Well, it is in
we got drunk cows.
It is in New York, so they're probably not eating great.
No.
And like these are cows in the Bronx?
Is Bronx cows.
Like
okay.
Bronx
Give them a little more pizza.
I bet it's Manhattan at that point.
Hey, this cow loves a calzone.
Oh,
these cows. And
forget
like
a cow.
Hey, these cows are super sick.
Hey, I'm going to take the cows down to the Shawarma King.
Hey, give them I call it a cow pie. Hey, what do you want?
It's all chocolate.
It's all. Come on, you get a cow. Yeah, just like feeding him Little Caesars. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, this cow doesn't like the chopped beef sandwich. What's up
this
with
cow
it?
ain't cut out for New York.
Oh,
hey, let's get 2 calzones and a big old pie for this cow.
All right. Hey, man, these cows are super sick.
God damn, this one's tummy drags on the ground.
Hey, man, this one cow died and exploded. These cows are really sick.
Oh, I haven't seen this much diarrhea since that guy ate a vegan burrito.
Spoiler, he got diarrhea. He got real bad diarrhea. Speaking of pending diarrhea, the amount of snacks I have for Luke to do a segment the next time I see him for Patreon, we're ready to roll.
Ooh, girl.
And I would say I hope they don't go bad, but I kind of hope they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Luke ate a possum flavored piece of candy.
it's horrible. It's really horrible.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It's still, I mean, like, it's one of the few
The
things that
smell.
makes me gaggy if I think about it too much.
Just so good.
It's real rough.
Passion.
Okay, this story is continuing.
Okay.
If the committee does its duty thoroughly, we shall see some sad revelations of human life sacrifice to cupidity.
Cupidity. That's got to be, what is that, like love or something? Like Cupid?
I think cow love?
Cow love, better.
Cupidity.
Yeah, cupidity.
The cows which are fed with slops from the distillery and brewery begin to decline in health.
Hey, yo, give him some more of this whiskey mush.
Hey, shovel the stuff out of the bottom of this barrel. Give it to the cow.
Hey, these cows are pretty sick because I gave them fermented yeast.
I don't know why.
I don't know what's up with these cows.
So the cows which are fed with the slops from the distillery and brewery begin to decline in health almost at the moment when they begin to feed on this.
So what are we doing? Why is there even a committee? Should not one person just be like, whoa, that's not a good idea?
Furthermore, in feeding the cows bleach, they seem to decline as well.
Yes, you up in the front. Go ahead.
Why don't we feed them grass?
It's an interesting pitch, but what we've been trying to do is feed them sort of a mushy brandy. So we're kind of trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. Yeah, you again. Go ahead. Quick follow-up.
Did they eat mushy brandy out in nature? Or is that what they eat?
No. No, cows prefer grass, hay, things of that nature. But what we've been doing is trying to give them a bit of a mash. So it's a bit of a bourbon-y brandy mash. Yes, go ahead.
Should we just feed them what they eat in nature?
Well, I think what you're missing is that we've been trying to sort of give them a bourbon-y gruel, and they're eating that, and they have been getting very sick. So we're trying to kind of get to the bottom of that. Yes, new guy.
Has anyone tried kicking them in the throat?
We have tried kicking them in the throat. It's not, they don't seem to respond to that, but that's a pretty good question. Maybe we'll give that a shot as well. So, yep, go ahead. You again. Jesus Christ.
Can we feed them
more questions than a game show?
Can we feed them human feces?
It's a very interesting idea. We have been talking about just shitting down their throats. So we'll probably give that a shot. But for the time being, we think that the problem is they're not used to the mushy bourbon gruel. So we'll be giving them that for a little while longer just to see if that bounces out. Last question, because you are really just a thorn in my side. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think all of my body is rotting out, and I just mostly eat cow.
Has anyone tried kicking him in the throat?
That's a great call. So we'll kick that guy in the throat. Cows should be good. Thanks, everybody, for coming out to this.
This was a terrible meeting.
My name's Mike Miller.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Harper's new monthly for January comes without the pictures. On account...
That's a big player back then. What? So I gotta do mind photos?
On account of the fire.
Well, all right.
But the reading matter is as good as ever. I mean, the Harper's did burn down back then.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, the whole thing burned down. Oh. So, whatever. Yeah. Still, make your fucking paper.
Was there illustrator inside?
Yeah, the illustrator. He's just holding on to his pencils. Donald, no!
Donald, get a quick sketch of the fire. Ha, ha.
I'm trying. His pencil's on fire. Keep moving. His goddamn pencil caught fire for some reason. Donald, everything's wood. Stop holding paper. You've got tinder and wood. My belongings.
My belongings.
My belongings. He's holding paper and wood. His pencils and papers are on fire. Donald, think of the long term. I'll need these to sketch the
Why did they make paper flammable?
Who knew paper and pencils were basic?
I like how a guy burning to this now sounds like a guy drowning.
It gets gurgly. Well, his throat becomes watery.
The fire department showed up and tried to put it out. It's a happy ending. Donald survived.
I got to tell my dad for the new drawings. Donald's heart is really taking a dive.
The drawings will be a little late this month.
Okay. All right. He's still got it.
A correspondent writes to the Post that Geo Lippard Esquire, the author, is sick and destitute. He is residing in an almost dying condition without proper attendance or care in the second story of an old house situated in an unfrequented part of Philadelphia.
Oh, my God.
What a crazy story.
I really feel like this...
What? Go help him. Why are you printing them?
I feel like this should launch Luke into some story about fireworks. I'm shocked that hasn't come already.
It really feels like, listening back, they treated a lot of the news like a nature photographer would today, where they're like, we can't step in and help.
Yeah, it is a bit documentarian, like let it play.
Tell what happens. He's rotting in there. He's
Woman
calling
screams,
for
help me, to me. I do nothing. A journal entry.
Do you remember that famous South? I think it was a South African photographer who took it, but he took a picture of a kid in Ethiopia, and there was like a vulture standing right in front of him, and everybody lost their minds, and the guy got all these death threats, and
he killed himself.
He did kill himself, I believe.
Like a couple years later, because he was like, "It was the wrong move." In retrospect,
they didn't let the kid die. They went and then they saved him. He took the picture, but people saved the kid. But everyone's just like, "I can't believe you let him die." And he's like, "I didn't." The people were helping him.
Did he take his own life?
I believe so. Yeah.
So it's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, I think he just kind of was bummed out by watching hundreds of thousands of people starve to death.
Well, he wouldn't make it in today's world, but
toughen up.
Do what we do. Love
Shoot
it.
CEO.
Oh, come on.
What are you talking about? All right. The unknown island. The British brig Chatham was lately wrecked on an island in the Pacific, hitherto undiscovered.
Hitherto.
Why don't we bring that back?
How are you spelling that?
Hitherto. Hitherto.
It's great. If someone made that point, I'd be like, curb him. Hitherto. Open his mouth on concrete now. As he's eating curb. Hitherto.
Our teeth were fine.
Hitherto.
The captain gives an account of the adventures of himself and the crew. Quote, we were distributed among the people of the island where we spent a most wretched night, expecting to be speared every moment.
1 star would not revisit.
The next morning commenced our naturalization. We were all drawn together and armed with spears and marched off to the north end of the island as we supposed to be their sacrifice to their gods, for they have many.
That is crazy to arm. You're getting a spear. You're like, oh, cool.
I don't know if they. He may have just that may have just been a different way to say it, but I think they were. I think they were held by spears. I don't know if they were given spears, but
so
yeah,
sort of. Yeah, that's what happened to Brittany. She was held by spears.
Oh no, you're right.
Oh,
what? Damn you.
What?
But the training ended well.
To me one more time.
But the training ended well, and we were taken to our respective houses again.
Imagine the train. Wait, and then they were taken to houses?
Their respective houses again, where they were being kept.
I mean, when you get back, like, all right, hey, let's real quick, while we have a minute, what the actual fuck is their plan right now? What are they doing? Like, we become amazing fighters. Now we live in a house.
Okay, look. So here, so I'm scared because what these people are doing is giving us spears, showing them how to use them, and then giving us houses.
And then
so this island is fucked up.
They're savages.
There's this real weird prisonry.
We have to kill them before they do whatever bad thing is coming. Look, they're preparing a feast.
They just come in and they're like, you have to vote one person off. Like, what the fuck?
For several days, this trading was carried on, differing only as their modes of worship differ, according to which of the gods they worship. We then found that we were considered supreme beings.
Oh my God. Boys, another new twist. We're gods.
See, look, guys, we were paranoid because every island we go to, we kill everybody. And
just so you know, normally in this situation, you guys have a terrible reputation of eating us. But you're elevating us. This is awesome.
And that we had nothing to fear as long as they thought so. The natives worship idols.
By the way, that is an amazing way to put your... Sorry, what was it? You have nothing to fear as long as we thought so. Okay.
Then day 2, David got diarrhea.
Yeah. Oh, God, the gods don't get diarrhea. What have you done, David? What have you done?
Jesus. Put a cork in it, idiot.
Spear him.
The natives worship idols, departed spirits of their own race, and have godsmen or a species of pagan priests among themselves, whom they worship on particular occasions.
Okay.
So whatever. So that was it. That's the story. Happy ending.
I wonder, is that like island PR? Like someone's like, we got to get out some of these feel good stories about where instead of eating these guys, we're actually making them gods among us.
Well,
I just think in every case where white people meet other people, we're like, they're terrifying. Let's get them.
Well, but I also think that I'm always like, kill the white people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's the right move.
But
if
they
white
don't,
people
mostly.
on boats show up, the move is to just
You
kill
kill
them right
them.
away.
That's why
Absolutely
I love
kill
that
them.
one tribe that's still uncontacted.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And every time they show up, they're like, get them quick. It's like they're
Yeah,
doing
kill that guy.
This is the correct choice.
That's right.
I'm
It is
making
the correct
a
choice.
TikTok about these people who have never learned about TikTok.
Yeah, well, there was that Christian guy who went out there to try to convert them, and that didn't work.
Nope. Well,
Education dangerous. The Shepherd of the Valley, a Catholic newspaper published in St. Louis, utters the following singular sentiments in relation to popular education. We're not friends of popular education as present understood. Hey, by the way, in 2024, you are still not
oh my God.
friends with popular education.
Oh my God.
The popularity of a humbug shall never, we trust, lead us to support it. We do not believe that the masses of our modern reformers insultingly call the laboring class are one whit more happy, more respectable, or better informed for knowing how to read. Oh, they don't want the masses to know how to read.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if most of the things I read don't make me happier.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I think the more you know, the less happy you are.
If you balance out the things I've read that I'm like, I'm happy having read that versus like, oh no, what?
I read for, I wouldn't say read for depression, but I read to go like, yep, that's right. It's real bad.
We think that the masses were never less happy, less respectable, or less respected than they have been since the Reformation, and particularly within the last 50 to 100 years, since Lord Brougham caught the mania of teaching them to read. The mania of teaching them to read.
Give it a shot.
The
mania.
And communicated the disease, the reading's a disease, the disease to a large proportion of the English nation, of which, in spite of all our talk, we are often in the servile imitators.
Wow.
So the Catholics don't want people to read.
Betsy DeVos.
Bingo. Our entire
DeVos.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
We hope our Catholic readers will think of this and say what they think. Is it
And
better
stop.
to learn or be ignorant? Wise or foolish? Is it better to be able to read papers and write letters, or to have a priest read for us and tell us what he pleases?
Oh my God, it's crazy.
These are the questions.
It's so crazy.
I mean, it's the same today.
Yeah,
Those
that's what I
people
mean.
haven't
It's just
changed.
like, it's the same shit where it's like, would you rather do your own research or should I tell you what you think?
Yeah.
What did your son say about yesterday? He said he had a great time getting ready for mass and that no one touched him.
He was not touched.
He was untouched.
Lady, here's a little one-ad stuff. Ladies fur
By
coat.
the way, one ad with lady, that's not great ever.
It's always good.
Lady needed to berate.
Ladies fur lost.
Ladies fur lost. They call it the Brazilian.
Monday, January 23rd, somewhere between Portsmouth and Exeter, a Norway sable fur tippet.
Sable.
Said fur might have been left at the Squamscott House, Exeter. If not, it was dropped between there and the city. Any person returning the same to the residence of Robert Lefevre.
Dave, is it true after you ate tacos you got squam squat?
Burrito.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Massive
Squam squat.
Squam squat.
And you did clean up with a sable tippet.
I got
I
a
did.
sable tippet.
Boy wanted in a store. Inquire at number 18 Pleasant Street.
Oh my God. Yeah, excuse me. What are you looking for? I'm not going to get into that. We want a boy and we need a boy.
It'd be so amazing to put that same ad in the paper.
Oh my God. Fucking, we should start dropping weird ads in.
Oh my God.
Boy wanted.
Inquire at Pizza Place in Washington, D.C.
12. Looking for a boy about 12. Call me.
French calfskins just received a prime lot of French calfskins and for sale low at 14.5 Market Street, corner of Ladd Street. How do you have a half? How do you have a half, Margaret? There are no addresses yet. How are you already doing a half?
You know, as someone who one time lived in a half,
I lived
the
in a
worst. It is
It's
such a nightmare to have
It's
a
a
half.
nightmare.
I can't even
like the
imagine back
basement?
then. But you had a half, and you would be like you'd be on the phone with like a company, be like, "Yeah, I need to get like internet here," and they'd be like, "All right, and are you 864 or 865?" You'd be like, "I'm 864.5." They're like, "Right, sorry, no. What we need?" And you're like, "I'm telling you, I'm a half."
Okay, hold on. Shut down the system.
No halves.
We need a new computer.
But it is shocking. It's like you can't. I mean, what? You're a half.
Although it's usually an honest reflection of the apartment. It's like, this can't get a whole one. This is not 64.
I don't think that they are of a value. Like, you're not a whole apartment.
Well, I've looked over the apartment as an appraiser, and this one is shit. So you get a half.
You and your neighbor are splitting an address. Your place is just not what we consider an apartment. What? You and Todd are halves.
They should do A or B works, right? You
A or B,
A or
way
B.
better. Yeah.
Half is crazy.
Half is crazy.
Yeah. A or B it.
And when I was being a half, awful. Okay.
At this time, it's 1854. You can just go down the street and go, "Hey, we're moving everyone's number down one."
You could be like, you're gonna be Rogers Road. Like literally you're gonna be your own city. You're Raysville, Ray.
So yeah, now you're Raysville. So
yeah, now you get your own zip code. Nothing means anything. It's 1854.
by the way, we got distracted by the 14.5, but the ad is for French calfskins.
Mm-hmm. That's right, huh?
Like the back of your shin?
Yes,
I think
right.
so.
Yes, right. Where I do, leg lifts, huh?
If you have
Check these out, huh?
If you have skipped a leg day, you just wrap these around.
There you go. Is this prosciutto? No, it's back of my legs, huh? You like this? What do you do? 5 francs per or 2 for 8?
You want to lick it while it's on me, or you like to lick it taken off?
What should I do with this? You cook it up in a little olive oil, some thyme, huh? Then you eat it back as a calf skin, huh?
Oui.
Very nice. Okay, great. Just lovely. Take a bit of the calf skin, slowly butter. Lovely. You're gonna love this project.
Here's an ad.
Gaston, beautiful calves. You've really worked on them. Leg lifts, yeah. Leg day, yes.
Lovely.
Oh.
You're barely a quad.
This is a fun thought experiment. There was a guy. This comes up
Whatever
a lot.
he's going to say.
Yep.
This is what it's like being in the van.
Yes.
And I can tell you what's going to happen now
Yes.
is going to be terrible.
Yes.
It's something I like to bring up if someone's getting on my case for being a vegetarian and they're like, "Oh, you wouldn't eat meat?" I'm like, "Well, here's a puzzler for you. There was a guy who lost his whole leg clean in a motorcycle accident, and the hospital
I don't know
was
about
like
clean, but okay.
it just like sheared off. So it was just like a full solid leg. And the hospital was like, "Do you want it? Because we're just going to incinerate it." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And he brought it home and he invited everyone to come over and made leg tacos.
See, this is why people don't want to hear what Luke's going to say.
Well, I remember when we were like all commiserating over what we read. Like we're all like, yeah, exactly. And then Luke's like, let me tell you a story about a guy who did a leg potluck.
Because here's the thing, I'm a vegetarian, but I'll try a leg taco if it's being offered by the guy whose leg it is.
He's answering questions that are nowhere near being asked.
No one's asking that.
Nobody was like, hey, Luke, let me put you in a quandary. How this started was he's like, whenever people give me shit for being a vegetarian, I hit them with this leg taco tale. Imagine being out and hearing that Luke make that argument and be like, hey, man, we're having 2 different conversations.
And different meals. How are the tacos?
Luke, did he tell people that they were
He did.
leg
He invited
tacos?
them over specifically to have leg taco.
And did people eat it?
I think some of them did. And it turned into a bit of a scandal because the police were like,
why?
He's not allowed to do that. And he was like,
Why isn't he allowed to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
I also
that was
love
it.
the cops showing up.
All right, put the leg down or taco.
Right. We got a 942-618-841.5. Guy making leg tacos at his little party.
Wait, is that a 92648A or a half?
Half. It's leg tacos.
I don't think we can do that in the computer.
I guess you're right.
It's actually a quarter because it's only one leg, so it's a fourth of the body.
We're actually not sure what you're saying. Can you repronounce? Sorry, this guy's serving leg.
So the movie is that one of the guys that goes there loves leg tacos, and then he's always making leg tacos, and to do that, he kills people.
I think the movie is someone in a bar asking Luke why he's a vegetarian. He's like, you really want to know why? You ever hear the story about the guy whose leg got ripped clean off?
Because once you've had leg taco, there's no going back. Nothing else will serve.
Well, then they find out that the guy's leg didn't get ripped off in a motorcycle. He cut it off to make tacos for his friends because he's a serious vegan. And he's making a fucking point. And the guy's name is Luke Simmons.
Amazing. This all started with Luke being like, let me jump in. So sometimes people will ask me why. Sometimes people ask me why I don't eat fish. I just hit them with the leg taco.
Because I think the fish would rather not, but the leg wanted to be a taco.
So will you eat lamb? So one time a guy's leg came off in a motorcycle accident, and he invited people over and made leg tacos, and the cops were dicks.
I'll eat gam. I won't eat lamb, but I'll eat gams.
You just see a regular party with like a huge moat around where Luke's standing. Hey, did you talk to that guy? Yeah, he hit you with that leg taco stuff.
You goddamn right he did. And then me from the background going, how's the barbacoa?
Is there a part of the human body?
He's living in another version of the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah, completely.
He's like, some guy's like, where's the barbacoa? We're like, what are you doing?
About leg taco.
I made several different types of meat out of this. You got the asada, you got the barbacoa, you got the burrito.
I fed my leg, but I pateed my calf.
French style.
Luke, is there a part of the human body you wouldn't eat?
Oh, Dave, why?
On offer?
On offer is a crazy follow-up.
It's got, you have to.
No.
That's the starting point. That's the ground
not on offer. Nope.
Then none. Again, has
on
to be
offer.
Okay, on offer. Say it's on offer.
It honestly depends more on the person.
On offer is someone who's talked far too much about cannibalism. We talking on offer or what's the deal?
I think it depends on the person and their diet. If they're doing a lot of like Baja Blast Mountain Dew kind of stuff and like you smoking, and
I wouldn't eat myself.
I would not eat me. For sure not. I wouldn't recommend it.
Luke being disgusted. But if it's some guy who goes to a gas station and finds like tamarind potato chips or something like that, pass.
I can tell you from inside the experience, not delicious.
Oh my God.
Hey, Rocky Road flavored pretzels.
That sounds good. If they don't make that.
Hey, did you guys know they made a beef soda? Yeah,
don't worry, it's not real beef.
Luke gets in the van and you're like, what are you eating? And he's like, lizard combos. And you're like, copy that. What happened? Oh my God.
If it's artificially flavored lizard, I'm curious.
All right. This is another ad. Best entertainment in the country. Chappelle's great kinetoscope of the island of Cuba.
Whoa.
The most magnificent panorama in the world. This splendid painting, which has attracted so much attention, was executed by the great American artist Chappelle, who, with the assistance of two talented artists, devoted more than 7 years to this great work. Major Felch of Boston.
Oh, boy. Major Felch? I'm really more of an admiral. I love to get the seamen going.
I'm a rear admiral, specifically.
I'm the rear admiral. How are we going to get all the seamen out of this place in one big move?
Major
Admiral
Felch.
Felch, any ideas?
Well,
it's crazy enough to work.
I'm not in the military, but I have a position, let's just say.
We've got to suck these boys out of danger. Admiral Felch.
Having purchased this wonderful production of art, now fully completed at a net cost of $55,000, respectfully informs the citizens of this place that he will open it at the Tamili it must be a theater on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday evening, positively the last. On Saturday afternoon at 3:00, the entertainment will be given for ladies and children.
Mm-hmm.
This is a picture.
Uh-huh.
This is a picture.
Ladies and children. No boys.
Whoa, Mom.
No man.
No. That nothing will be wanting on the part of the management to make this the best entertainment ever offered, and engagement has also been effected at large expense with the celebrated Sig Murillo, who will introduce at each exhibition his renowned Lilliputian family, or the Italian Fantacosini.
I feel like the fact that they had a women's and children's exhibition means some dudes were jacking to the painting.
Just the guy, Sig, just had his penis out, and he's like, there's no men here, so we can all be ourselves.
Look at the tiny guy.
Yeah, let me walk you through this. Look at that.
Wow.
Look, he's got a little admiral's hat on him. Oh, boy.
Oh, here comes Major Felch.
Uh-huh. He's at half-mast. There's been a tragedy.
Squish, 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 squish. Tickets only 15 cents. Doors open at 7.
Overpriced, even for now.
Felch and Bartlett proprietors.
Felch. Hey, Felch, people aren't figure he's just drinking a milkshake. Felch, stop. Yum. How'd the show go?
Okay. Sudden death. Michael Gallagher, an Irishman about 30 years of age, was found dead in his bed at the residence of his brother in Market Street, Newburyport, on Sunday morning. The day and evening previous, the deceased had been about the city as usual, but had been a hard drinker for some time past and probably drank to excess before retiring on Saturday night.
Sure.
He must have died without a struggle, as his wife, a worthy, sober woman by his side, had no intimation of it until she found him dead and cold in the morning.
I mean, it's sort of strange to think he's going to scream in his sleep and die.
Yeah. You die. He died. You just die. Sometimes you die in your sleep. That's it.
And that's just the way to go. Luke,
that is the way to go. Yeah.
No. Well, I don't know.
What's the conflict as far as eating? This is this is one of the great things about conversation. Now there's a weird principle. Can't wait for
if it was in his will, hey, I'd like to be eaten. Okay. But I think if it's just like the guy's dead, let's eat him. That very quickly, they're going to, Amazon's going to sell people jerky. They're going to be like, it died. What do you want? He or she died. They died. Wow.
I mean, I get the distinction, but it's still just,
it's
strange.
It is. It's a fabricated.
It is. It is strange. Luke, we're having a conversation with Luke there, and then Luke's behind us like, I agree.
Dude, what the hell, dude?
There's another Luke.
I'm of two minds on it.
A jury of inquest was called who, after a session of an hour and a half, rendered a verdict that, quote, he came to his death by habitual intoxication.
Oh, well.
Well, but so an hour and a half, they looked at him and then they were like, yeah.
He's pickled.
They just Irish.
Honestly, that is exactly what happened. Like the coroner was like, I got to go. What do you think? What was he, Irish? Say whiskey.
Yeah. 100%.
Look at I'm noticing on the body a lot of freckles.
Feed him to the cows.
This one's a ginger. This is from the drink.
This man died from potatoes and beer.
Drunkenness and death. Michael O'Connor, boarding with a family on Washington Street, Portland, while in a state of intoxication on Saturday evening, fell down a flight of stairs and received injuries which caused his death in a few hours.
It's funnier if he doesn't die, but okay, whatever. With a few hours.
A few hours is rough.
Hours.
Long time. By the way, that's 12 steps.
Okay.
He stopped drinking.
He's just there. Yeah. He did stop drinking. It's called 12-step.
Last one?
I mean, it is funny to imagine a drunk Irish guy dying, falling down the stairs. Let's remind everyone, this is almost 200 years ago. We're allowed to have a giggle.
I'm taking a fearless inventory. Half of my bones are broken. Here we go. Oh,
Luke's just eating his back.
it was his last request.
Last story. Horse thief. A man calling himself Orrin Hutchinson. That's never a good sign when they say it's a man calling himself instead of just saying that's Orrin
His name,
Hutchinson.
yeah.
The so-called Orrin Hutchinson went to Hill and Cheney's stable in this city last week on Friday and hired a horse and sleigh to go to Candia.
That's it. Is this a board game?
Candia, this sounds like a Simpsons episode is what it sounds like.
Candia.
He represented that he was employed in the sawmill north of the Stark Mills. Not returning as he agreed, inquiries were made and evidence obtained that he crossed over to Bedford and afterwards was seen on the road to Nucia.
It must have been so fun renting stuff back then.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'll take it for a day. You know what?
I'll be back.
Half a day. I don't need it long.
Your rental store's like, well, we're out of business. Everyone took it.
We had 8 horses yesterday.
Literally nothing. Those guys aren't coming back.
He was traced to Haverhill, Massachusetts, where he engaged the sleigh and received $20.
So he just sold it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
It's great.
Here he called his name John A. Smith. Well, I mean,
pretty good.
Thence he went to Newmarket and disposed of the team sleigh, harness, and robes, and receded.
Oh, he didn't sell it. He used it like an Uber for a day.
Yeah, well, I think he went in with a horse and he goes, "I need a sleigh."
Yeah,
and
and
put
he
a
just
sleigh on.
took his clothes off and he was like, "I'm starting a new life." While that rental place was like, "Hopefully that horse comes back pretty soon because we really have a lot invested in the people returning that stuff."
Meanwhile, that guy's turned it into a boat and a ship, and he's sailing across the sea.
Hopefully, pretty soon he's on his way back.
So he disposed of the team, sleigh, harnesses, and robes, and receded therefore in the name of John Robertson. It was ascertained that he had gone to Maine, but he was pursued no further. So they just gave up. They're like, "Wow, this is
what are you gonna
there's
do?"
No way
though?
there's no, yeah, you can't do anything.
Because again, it's the era where you're like, boy, some people are real fucking dicks.
Yeah, you can.
Recently, his twin brother came in to apologize and rent a horse.
Yeah,
yeah.
Some guy comes in, he's like, "I'll get him for you."
You look like him. Takes one of us who looks like him to catch one of us.
Give me a horse and I'll bring back the guy who fucked you over. Well, here you go. Now remember it. Come back now. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll be back.
That looked so similar, but he had a mustache.
So let me get this straight. Someone came in, took a horse, you hired a bounty hunter to get him, and then that guy never came back either. Well, give me a horse and I'll get both those guys. We're not. I mean, we have like 2 horses left, so please come. Yeah, of course, I'll come back with 3 horses.
Yeah, we don't know each other. We're not the Harmonians.
So let me get this straight. You've had 3 horses gone missing, 1 by a thief and 2 by fake bounty hunters. I'll bring them back for you.
I'm your man.
But we want to go with you this time. That won't work. Okay.
I don't want you, but get me a boy.
So let me get this straight. 8 horses have gone missing, and 7 of those people have been bounty hunters, promising that they'll find the previous people. You give me a horse, I'll bring him back for you. Just take the goddamn thing.
Just kill me.
Just please take it.
Somebody take me and eat me. Well, that's Portsmouth's
there you
Daily
go.
Chronicle.
Well, Luke, what do you want to promote, Luke? Because we didn't have you on at the very beginning. You were you rushed in with 10 minutes to go. What can we promote for you?
I'm gonna be doing some stand-up comedy on the road with opening for this guy.
Gross.
He's very funny. The guy. His name's Gareth.
What's the website?
The website is GarethReynolds.com/tour.
Yeah.
And the tour is for
tour
Luke.
Did you ever get the increase in pay that your manager had negotiated over time?
Is that you?
That's funny. I did not.
Yeah, we negotiated.
It's promised as much leg taco as I could eat.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've yet to have a one.
There are openers out there who
The Funny Bone actually serves leg. By the way, that's the next leg of the tour.
Hey.
We got nothing.
But
Come to the shows. They're worse than this. All right. Well, thanks, Luke. We learned a lot, and thanks for joining us. And,
lovely to see you outside of the van.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Nobody likes it. Nobody enjoys it.
By the way, that Burns, when he was on tour with us for whatever, I went out to the van and there were ants. And I was like, oh my, and I just saw the ants ravaging Cheetos. So on the group text, I go, someone left fucking Cheetos in my head. I'm like, time for Luke to fess up. And Luke was like, it was Burns, but it's okay. Like,
I did not. No, that's not how it went. I go, interesting. That sounds terrible. I knew
but
who
in his
did
head,
it.
he's going, it should have been me. That's why Luke eats snacks that are so crazy, because he's like, not even the ants will feast upon this chip.
Remember you got so angry at me because I tried to share my Andy Caps hot fries with that crow?
You know what's crazy? I don't even really remember this. I remember it a little bit, but first of all, so angry is very funny. Second of all, the setup. I mean, Dave, go ahead.
You were offended on behalf of the crow.
I think I was saying, don't feed that to the crows.
Yeah.
So angry. In Luke's head, someone's like, how fucking dare you? I was just like, don't give the crows that.
You said
don't give the crows
said probably
that.
Don't kill the crows with hot fries. Maybe not so angry, but we looked it up.
Can't understand spicy fucking.
Turns out they like it. I looked it up. Google says they're okay with it.
Let's remember where this started. This started. Luke painting a picture of himself as Superman.
So and then Luke's like, I asked AI and it said it was fine.
I asked, ChatGPT said that crows like to eat spicy potato fries.
You should eat 1 to 2 spicy foods a day.
You know, Gareth yelled at me one time because I tried to kill crows, but then I Googled it and I was a hero. The Luke Simmons tale. All right, Luke, thanks for joining us, you lunatic.
Hey, happy holidays.
Some of these days, you'll miss me, honey.